Another loss for the Detroit Pistons against the Denver Nuggets, 119-100. But more importantly, Dwayne Casey finally used the too big system we've been waiting to see. We're going to talk about what it looked like and what it could mean for the future of the Pistons right here on the DSN News Desk.
Never fall back. We will stay right where we at.
What's good, Detroit Sports Nation? I am Eric Vincent, your host here at the DSN News Desk. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your time and support because we got a Piston update that we really need to talk about. Even after taking a loss to the Denver Nuggets, 119-100, Dwayne Casey finally did something that Piston fans have been dying to see. The too big system featuring James Wiseman and Jalen Duren was finally put to the test against the Nuggets. We've seen them play with Wiseman and Marvin Bagley together. We've seen Duren and Bagley, I think, play sparing time together because they both have spent a lot of time injured and not a whole lot of time being cohesive together. However, the one that we wanted to see, the pairing that we've been dying to see, was between James Wiseman and Jalen Duren. And it told us a lot. It told us a lot about what they did. There were a lot of plays where Jalen Duren was roaming around the mid-post area and the free throw line where they were trying to establish position for James Wiseman on his own to post up against his defender. That turned into easy layups and buckets for James Wiseman and also easy lobs from Jalen Duren. That, I think, revealed and showed a lot of what we can look forward to and what this team really needs. First of all, Jalen Duren, I've been talking about all season. This is just one more piece of validation to show how high this kid's ceiling truly is. I don't care that he's the youngest player in the NBA. He has shown unbelievable signs of growth and stardom this season alone. Stardom. Yes, I said it and I meant what I said. Stardom is an absolute possibility for Jalen Duren. 15 points, 13 boards, didn't get in a whole lot of foul trouble this time. He normally has dealt with foul trouble a lot, which kind of takes him out of his rhythm defensively. And he did all this from coming off the bench. Ever since he came back from his ankle injury, Wiseman has been starting in front of him, and Duren has been coming off the bench again like he did to start the season. However, even with that being considered, he played 27 minutes, and some of those minutes were featured with James Wiseman. And even with him showing that great passing touch that he absolutely has, because like I've been saying, he's more than just a rim-running lob threat that blocks shots and gets rebounds. He can do a lot more. He's very capable of way more than I think fans are aware of. He's shown the touch with his jump shot. His free throw shooting is getting a lot better. And now showing the ability to pass to anybody because he's shown the ability to drop off dimes to cutters. He's shown the ability to throw lobs to other bigs. And I think that is huge because when running the too big system, the Pistons are going to be in a position where they're not going to be able to play them both on the block and to clog up all that space. One of them is going to have to be spending some time on the perimeter or at least in the mid area, the mid-post area. Jalen Duren was able to do so, and the passing is good. However, I don't know how long it's going to be able to last if that's all that they're bringing to the table. This team needs a big that can stretch the floor with shooting, not just passing, but shooting as well. They need a consistent jump shot out of James Wiseman, Marvin Bagley, or Jalen Duren sooner than later. Wiseman has taken a couple attempts from three. He's taken some jump shots as well. And honestly, every single one I've seen has had an ugly result to it. He's had some bad bricks. He has a pretty confident shooting motion, but it doesn't look like those shots are going to be consistent for him. At least not now. Maybe he'll work on it down the line. We'll see what happens. But as of right now, that shot's not there. Duren doesn't really take a whole lot of jumpers. And Marvin Bagley, when he takes jumpers, when he's on the court, he's just as inconsistent as the other two guys. So they really need somebody that can be able to stretch the floor and take advantage of that. Now, if they want to take advantage of that in, short spurt situations, like let's say Bojan Bogdanovic is playing and he's in the starting lineup, maybe you can work with him as the 3 and he's a shooter that helps spread things around. But then again, you still need a little bit more shooting next to that in your front court. I believe they're going to have to develop that at some point if they plan for James Wiseman to be a part of these future plans. Because there's no question that Jalen Duren is going to be here. He's going to be someone that's a building block for the future. We don't really know what they're doing with James Wiseman yet. He looks like, still to an extent, a bit of a project player. He's doing a good job of taking advantage of these situations in front of him. Like, he's been very aggressive. He's very fluid on the block, doing a really good job of turning and scoring over his shoulder. Obviously catching lobs as well. Playing a little bit good defense too. And that's been encouraging. But to me, I don't think it solidifies what his role is going to be with this team, especially if he's starting and Jalen Duren is coming off the bench. Like, I just don't think that fits well for this team. Luckily, as of right now, well, not necessarily luckily, but considering how the roster is set right now, there's still a lot of injuries. So guys like Beef Stew not playing, Marvin Bagley not playing, it kind of dilutes the ability to tell what the best fit is going to be amongst those 4 in terms of what this rotation is. They're going to have to figure that out. It's a murky logjam that I'm not super excited about, but I am excited about the potential if we see some growing steps from those guys. Those bigs have a lot of responsibility. With Cade Cunningham coming back next season, we saw him on the interview, and we saw him with the telecast kind of talking to George Blaha, speaking about his update with Greg Kelser. When he comes back, he's going to have a lot of responsibility of making the most of having those bigs on the floor with him. Jaden Ivey as well. Ivey has done a tremendous job of developing chemistry with the bigs, getting them lobs and easy finishes at the rim, as well as spreading it out to shooters as well. But working with those 2 bigs and getting them easy looks at the rim, and not just in fast break scenarios, I'm talking about in half-court sets as well. It's going to take some creativity from Dwayne Casey to put them in the proper spacing. It's going to take creative positioning with the guards to make sure that they're actually taking advantage of those post-up opportunities for the bigs when it presents it. Like, you don't see a whole lot of it yet, but you saw a little bit of it in this game where Killian Hayes was dribbling among the 3-point line. Duren rotates over to the free throw line, gets an easy pass, and immediately gets a flick up to James Wiseman, who got an easy lob. He got 2 lobs, if I'm not mistaken, I believe in the same quarter. I believe it was the second or the third. And it was very encouraging to see. Again, it speaks to what Jalen Duren's potential could be, because I absolutely see stardom with this kid. And it kind of shows what this team needs. They've needed size in their front court for the longest. We talked about it at the beginning of the season. They weren't going to be able to survive with Beef Stew and Bojan Bogdanovic in their front court playing together, and Sadiq Bey at the time. So really at that time, Cade and Sadiq Bey were kind of their tallest players. That was not a good look. Now you have 2 bigs where I think the assists could be inflated now and go up for the guards. You can see in production and continuity build a little bit better amongst them. And again, it shows how important that size is. It's kind of what Marvin Bagley brought last season. Like, I don't think, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Marvin Bagley, but I don't think Marvin Bagley's production last season showed that the Pistons needed Marvin Bagley. They showed that they need a lob threat that's athletic to run and play with Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. If you have that size and you have that pick and roll ability between those 2 and between the bigs, you're going to see some good things, because those are the best passes that Cade was making, with those lobs setting up the bigs. And he didn't get a chance to do that. I don't think he threw a lob all season. Like, I didn't see it. I don't recall any, at least this year. So hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit more of that. I think this gave us a peek into how important that is for this offense. How they're going to figure it out is going to be a little bit confusing, but I got hope that it works. I've seen some good things from James Wiseman. 14 points tonight, 9 rebounds. He's shown some good things. He's outperformed his expectations, and I can't wait to see what they do for the rest of the time with them together. But talk to me in the comment section. I'd love to hear your feedback. What did you think about the 2 big system that Dwayne Casey played? Do you think it's going to work between Wiseman and Duren? If not, tell me why. If so, tell me why. I'd love to hear your feedback. talk to me in the comment section. Like the video as well. If you're here new to the channel, subscribe to the channel so we can run up those subscribers on our way up to 7,000. We can make that happen with your support. We would really appreciate it. Lock in on our social media as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the above. Search and follow Detroit Sports Nation. And lock in with me as well at I am Eric Vincent. Thank you so much for your time and support. I appreciate you being here. And I'll see you again soon with another update right here from the DSN News Desk. Peace.